this video, I'm going to teach you several Git commands, such as Git clone, Git push origin master, and Git pull origin master. I'm going to show you how do you clone the things from your remote repositories into your local repository, how do you push it, how do you pull it. So right now in my GitHub, so over here, you can create a remote repository. Click on the new. So I'm going to name the repository as a test, and then I'm going to initialize this repository with a readme file, okay? And click over here to create a repository. So you can see that once you have created repositories, right, GitHub already help you to create one commit. On the green button here, you can clone these remote repositories into your local machine. So you can either use the HTTPS or use the SSH. So I'm going to go for SSH. So I'll click on this one, and then on my local computer, in this directory, I'm going to right click and git bash over here. So I'm going to type git clone and then click on the scroll button of your mouse. So this is how you clone the remote repositories into your local machine. Okay, you can type enter, wait for a few seconds. Okay, so right now do ls, list out all the files, and then you can see that there's a folder being created in this folder, which is test, and I'm going to change the directory to test, and you can see that you're in a master branch of the repositories that you have just cloned. So if you do a git log, you can see there's an initial commit which is being created by the GitHub itself. Your head pointer is pointing to this commit and is in sync with the master branch of your origin. Okay, so what does origin mean actually? So if you do a git remote -v, right, you can see that origin is actually represent this URL. This URL is the URL where you have cloned your remote repositories. So it is actually just a short name for this holding URL right now. So I'm going to create a main.c file, and in this main.c file, I'm going to type in something. You can type in anything you want actually. So let's say I create a main function, and then I'm going to save it and exit, Ctrl X, Y, and enter. So if you do a git status, you can see that main.c file, which is an untracked file, which is a file that is not being tracked by the Git. So you can actually git add it into the staging area, main.c file, and then you do a git status. So you can see that right now, the main.c file is actually being added into the staging area. So just in case if you have accidentally added it into the staging area, but there are still some changes that you are going to make, what you can do is that you can do a git reset head main.c. Okay, so this command, it will move the main.c file from the staging area back into the working directory. So you can actually see from here, right? Use git reset head, the file name, to unstage. Okay, so git reset head main.c. So if you do a git status right now, you can see that right now main.c, right now it falls under the untracked files again. So I'm going to make some more changes on my main.c file. And in the main function, I'm going to add some variable, integer I equal to 0, and then Ctrl X, Y to save, and then enter to exit. And if you do a git status, okay, so right now I'm going to add it back to the staging area, and then I'm going to commit it. I'm going to say main.c is created. Okay, so if you go to the git status, you can see that your working tree is clean. And then I'm going to do a git log. So if you do a git log, you can see right now there are 2 commits. Previously it was 1 commit. So your commit, your local repositories, your local commit is right now is 1 commit ahead of your remote repositories. So you can see over here, your head pointer is actually a pointer of your local repositories. They are actually pointing towards this commit, and this origin the master branch of your remote repositories, which is the origin, is pointing towards this commit. They are not in sync. So in order to make it in sync, what you got to do is to push this commit to your remote repositories. Okay. So what I can do is I can do a git push origin master. So this is what you have committed, right? So you push this commit to your remote repositories. Give it some time. Okay. So right now, if you refresh the page of your remote repositories, you can see that right now there are 2 commits. And you click on it, you can see that main.c is created, which is created in your local repositories. So right now, let's go back here, and then here is the commit message. You can see the time that you have just created 2 minutes ago. So if you do a git log -2, -2 means that it shows the previous last 2 commits. Okay, so you can see right now, origin master, the master branch of your origin of your remote repositories, they are right now pointing towards this commit. Okay, so right now they are in sync. And then, so the next thing I'm going to show you is that I'm going to modify the main.c file, which is in my remote repositories, and make a commit. So I can actually click on the main.c, and then I can do a edit. So over here, I'm going to add another, let's say, another function, print function. So in this print function, I'm going to type printf, and then print function is created. Okay, so anything you can type actually. And then I'm going to type in the commit message, which is a print function is created. Okay, so I'm going to commit my changes of my main.c file. So if you go back to the test repository, you can see right now there are 3 commits, and the third commit is what you have just created. Print function is created. Okay, so let's go back to the git bash, and then if you do git log right now, you can see that when you see in your remote repositories, right, the master branch of the origin has 3 commits, but right now in your local machine, they are not being updated. They are only having 2 commits. Okay, so what you can do in order to make your local repository in sync with your remote repository, you can do a git pull origin master. It's going to pull the things from your master branch of your remote repository origin. So you press enter, so you can clear it. Okay, do a git log. So you can see that right now, the commit of your local repositories right now is being updated, and all of these pointer, they are actually being pointed to this third commit right now. Okay, so this is how you do a git clone, git push origin master, and git pull origin master. Alright, so right now if you have finished this tutorial and then you want to delete these remote repositories, I'm not going to use it anymore, just for practice purpose, you can go to settings, and then you can scroll down to the most bottom, and then in this danger zone, you see a delete these repositories. So the repository name is test, and I'm going to delete it. Alright, so thank you for watching this tutorial.